Alrighty, and welcome back guys and girls to another Survivor tutorial. This tutorial is going to highlight some of the best ways you can improve your Survivor play and how to give yourself the best chance to escape in Dead by Daylight, so stay tuned. Right, so I decided to do this video mainly through frustration at solo play. I see a lot of comments in forums and Facebook pages about people being left to die, people self-caring in the corner, amongst a number of other things. So I thought, let's make a video about it to help you if you are new to Dead by Daylight and to show you how to be a more efficient survivor in the game. If you follow these tips, you definitely won't have people moaning at you and you will have given yourself the best chance to escape and rank up in the game. So let's get straight into it. Number one on the list is be productive. This has to be the number one gripe in the game. You see your teammates wandering around, looking lost, looking scared, and basically not doing anything to help your team. This is bad. If you aren't being productive, you are certainly reducing the odds of your team escaping. The number one thing to do in the game as a survivor is the generators. I know I've probably blown a lot of minds, but the mechanics of the game is simple. Do the gens and get the hell out of there. Let me tell you, as a killer main, nothing puts more pressure on me than the sounds of gens repaired. That is the be all and end of all of it. Gens being done pressure the killers. You know something, you have killers that will waste time chasing, will take too long to get survivor, or maybe you come across a tunnel or camping killer. The only way to combat this is to ensure you punish your killer for these time wasting things. If the killer can chase and get hooks and looks down and see gen progress is slow, the game is lost for you as a survivor. If you see people getting chased, then do the gens guys, it's nice and simple. Tip number two is be aware of what is happening around you, so be aware of your environment. Okay, so this leads from the point above. There are a number of indicators in the game that tell you what is going on. If you have an obsession for example, then look out for the hands of the entity moving around him. If they do, it means they are getting chased. If you see survivors getting injured, then you know they're in trouble. Keep calm and just keep pushing your objective. If you see someone hooked, then keep a track of what the health bar is. If it's a first hook, they have 1 minute before they drop into stage 2. Make sure that you know what's going on in the map around you, what's going on with your teammates. If you see a teammate hooked and you can see someone else is injured, it's likely, for example, that you're free to go get that unhooked. So just be aware of it. The amount of times where as a survivor, you get basically 3 hooks. One hook, you just chilling, hanging there chilling, watching what's going on. The second hook, you're going to be in the struggle phase. The third hook is when you die at the entity. So try to make sure you maximise those, and you maximise those by keeping an eye of what's happening around you, getting that teammate before they drop into the second stage. Just things like that you should be aware of in the game. It's always nice to also keep track of what's happening in the game, who's around you. Obviously the first thing you want to do is know who the killer is, have a bit of an exit plan when you're in a location, have a backup of what's going to happen and try to understand where your teammates are. This leads on to tip 3, unhooking. Okay, this is sometimes quite tricky, so if the killer's in the area then please don't go for the unhook. You need to wait for that killer to leave and then go get the save. If your team are pressuring gens, so following tip number 1, then the killer needs to go stop this, so is going to lose the game if they don't. If you and your teammates are all swarming the hooks before the objectives are done, then this killer will have a field day. This is basically the killer's wet dream. You need to stop doing this and link in with point 2. Know what's happening. I do recommend stuff like the perk Kindred if you're running solo, because it gives a lot of information to your teammates and can make a difference in winning and losing. If you have perks such as Borrowed Time, and okay, if the killer's camping then you will have to resort to making unsafe hooks, but make sure you're still punishing the killer by doing the objectives and by being productive. Tip number 4 is about looping. Okay, if you're new at the game, you might not have mastered the art of looping yet. Hell, sometimes people who aren't new at the game still haven't mastered that, and you might never get to that stage. However, you can become efficient in wasting the killer's time. If you know a generator is being done nearby, then just run the opposite way. If you are near someone hooked, then don't loop near them, because that's just going to kill the player on the hook. Make sure you take the killer away so your teammates can come and make the rescue. This is what I like to call big picture awareness, and this is for me what separates the average players from the good players. Although this will come with practice, you will have all the indicators needed to help you make great decisions. There is perks such as Bond to help you understand where teammates are. If you're injured and the gen is nearly done, don't panic and think you have to heal straight away. Be prepared to think about a bigger picture, and you might have to do a gen while you're injured. That's fine. Utilise the time that you've got. These are all part of the big picture awareness, but will help you and your team hugely. Okay, tip number 5 is about the exit doors. Again, it comes down to being productive. You complete a gens, you now need to ensure you get the exit door open. Again, as part of that big picture awareness that I spoke about, I see teammates panic and run for the rescue rather than open doors or at least prep them at 99%. Don't forget your hooked teammate is going to be very vulnerable when you unhook them. With no doors prepped, the killer will most likely tunnel these down to secure that kill. Prep the door, be prepared to take some safety hits and usher your friend to the open door. Keep an eye on the tab bar at the bottom because obviously you want to make sure that you're going to have enough time. So again, big picture awareness guys, understand what's going on in the game. If you are at the door and the killer is around, then again think about the best player. I've seen too many people looping around the door and it doesn't give the opportunity for the teammates to open it. So if you are being chased by the killer, take them away to a different location whilst your teammate open the gate. Tip number 6 is about the perks that you have, so don't always have to use the best perks for solo play. I touched upon it in the previous tips, but use perks that are going to help you as a team. If you are wanting to do gens quicker and give your team a chance to escape, then perks such as Prove Thyself and Leader will help you with this. Wanting to make sure you help your injured or hooked teammates, then perks such as Borrowed Time and Will Make It to protect teammates a bit more are amazing to have. Kindred is an amazing perk for solo play because it will give you an idea of what everyone is doing when someone is hooked, as well as give all the information necessary for the people if you are the one hooked. These will make a difference in games and aren't necessarily seen as your standard meta perks, but perks that will definitely improve the team's chances of escaping. My final tip is be a good teammate. Okay, so if you are doing all the previous tips I've mentioned, then you're nearly there. You are nearly a top teammate, however just think logically about everything that I've mentioned. Remember that the more survivors that are around, the more the odds are going to be in your favour to survive. You are sick of the game, you're having a bit of a tough time and want to move on, well still allow the struggle phase. Keep struggling because it's going to buy your teammates more time to do stuff. If you disconnect, you're making it easy for that killer, making it hell for your teammates. So it's not going to take long for you to die and just move on. Can't be bothered to go get your teammate, then maybe remember that once your teammate is out the way, that's one less survivor for the killer to worry about. You make a rescue and the killer's coming back, then take a hit for your teammate and let them have a bit of respite. The problem with solo play is sometimes you will get survivors just concentrating on themselves and themselves only. This plays straight into the killer's hand. Be a good teammate, ensure you do your part, and I can guarantee that you'll have a better chance of escaping and ranking up. Don't forget to rank up, you generally need to do a bit of everything, so get used to doing everything. For example, don't be afraid to get chased, don't be afraid to take some protection hit, don't be afraid to stay injured for a bit whilst you do the objective. This is the way you will improve as a player and help your team's chances. I hope this all made sense guys. If you enjoyed the video then please give it a thumbs up, and if you do enjoy my content then please feel free to subscribe, click the notification bell, you will be notified when I release anything new. Bear in mind guys also, please feel free to drop a comment, let me know if I've missed anything. How do you find your solo play goes? Alright, thanks guys.